What's so terrifying about releasing the prosecutor's communication when you have this level of falsifying this case? I mean,
it's not the first time this judge has not only protected a lying prosecutor, but practiced law from the bench. You know, when he offers to the prosecutor, when he offers to the court that, hey, I think we should seal the SD card from the family, specifically this verbiage, seal the SD card findings from the family. You are a judge. You're supposed to be impartial. You're supposed to observe what's going on, and you're supposed to rule based on the law.
Look,
for you to offer a new protective order against the family, you are no longer a judge. You are a prosecutor.
Look, I go back and ask, why is Mustafa's defense attorney not fighting off this protective order? Why is this defense attorney not putting all these points in a motion? I mean, Prosecutor Sarah Sami flat out lied about everything in court on the record. And we have a file.
Honestly, this judge should be thrown off the case.
You know, I'll tell you right now.
Because I think he was blackmailed back in April of 2024 when he gave Mustafa a $5,000 bond, and then a week later reversed it.
Look,
would not say why he's reversing it.
This is my logic. Let's ride the horse until that horse tells us it is a donkey.
And by the way,
does that make sense?
By the way,
listen to the logic.
Let me tell you.
Did you hear what I just threw at you? Ride the horse until that horse tells you I'm a donkey.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that's very, very questionable at the moment for me. I remember sitting in a courtroom where Blake Weiner stood in court right before trial, and he said, Your Honor, I am requesting from the government $5,000 for the psychiatrist that I'm bringing to testify for Mustafa. And the psychiatrist fee is $5,000 for the entire trial. And I'm asking for simply $5,000 fee for my psychiatrist that goes by the name of Speckard.
Dr. Specker, that's right.
Judge Weimer tells the attorney, he says, I'm not giving $5,000 to that psychiatrist.
Well, originally he gave him $5,000.
No. He says, I'll give $5,000, but you're not using it for that psychiatrist.
Exactly.
You can get a different psychiatrist.
Exactly.
I mean, hold on a second.
Yep.
Why is the judge objecting to by the way, a phenomenal psychiatrist? She has an 84-page CV. Okay.
She's been doing it for a long time.
She's been doing it for a very long. This is a very experienced psychiatrist. Okay, with a very good background. Okay, very knowledgeable. A good expert. Okay, and she's already written a affidavit.
Well, I wonder what you wrote. I wonder what you wrote about Mustafa that Judge Weimer didn't like.
Well, I mean, it's in the verbiage. It's very clear. She analyzed the dash camera. She analyzed this whole entire case, and she basically says Mustafa's actions are consistent with someone trying to avoid a vehicle accident, someone who is being put in a traumatic situation, and he's trying to avoid it. And
that's exactly
and Judge Weimer reads that, and he says, "No, we can't use the psychiatrist."
Well, I find it interesting that today Judge Weimer wants that psychologist.
How much did he give the psychiatrist?
$18,000.
$18,000 to the same psychiatrist that last year you denied $5,000 to. What's going on? All of a sudden, now you're giving $18,000 when just the other day you. By the way,
I'm glad that you brought that up. I want to talk about that. Yeah.
By the way, the prosecutor didn't object. The judge objected to the $5,000. The judge objected to this psychiatrist. He said, not this one.
No.
You can get any psychiatrist for $5,000, but you're not getting this one.
So now they put $18,000. They give it to this psychiatrist, and they want her to sit down with Mustafa and write her evaluation. Okay, that's odd. Just the other day, you didn't want the psychiatrist.
Just the other day, she was getting ready to go into trial.
Wait a minute. Exactly. Our problem with Blake Weiner, Mustafa's previous defense attorney, is that we told Mustafa was getting ready to be walked into trial. This was back in December. And Mustafa would tell his attorney, I need my vehicle reconstructed. I need the extraction of my dash camera because digital forensics says they have the audio. And this investigator is talking about tampering with the dash camera.
Robert Drum also said there's audio. He told Casey Stevens that he figured out the audio.
Exactly. Now, Blake Weiner said, if that's what you want, I'm going to have to withdraw from the case.
If you're going after the dash cam audio,
yeah,
I'm off the case.
I mean, how does that make any sense? Mustafa didn't fire Blake Weiner.
No, he left.
He left because if that's what you want.
But what did he tell the judge? He said, Your Honor, the relationship has corroded.
Corroded? For Mustafa asking you for the most basic thing in this whole entire case?
Listen, well, that's the excuse that a lawyer would use when he wants to.
Well, I find it interesting that today the government is pumping $100,000 into this case. They have money for an independent expert to download the SD cards. They have money to have an independent expert to reconstruct the vehicle. Okay. And now they have $18,000 for Dr. Specker, who just the other day, Judge Weimer says, I don't want. He refused her to be on the case. And what is coming out of the conversation today? Wait a minute. Mustafa is kept in the dark when his SD card is coming out. Mustafa's defense attorney, Mustafa's not being told, forget me, forget the family. You don't have to worry about the family. Why are you keeping your client, and this is for Brad Hayward, Mustafa's defense attorney, why is your client kept in the dark when his extraction for the SD card, when is it going to come out? When is his vehicle going to get reconstructed? Instead, you're prioritizing the psychiatrist. You want the psychiatrist to sit down with Mustafa. I mean, you're leaving me no choice but to think that you're working for the prosecutor. What does this prosecutor want?
Let me add to your point. Do you see what
I'm talking about here?
I remember a body cam. I remember a body cam.
I can't, but look at this.
Look.
This is weird.
I remember a body cam.
You're not interested in the audio. You're not interested in the reconstruction of the accident. You want this psychiatrist to sit down with Mustafa to do what exactly? You want to mark him off, write him off as crazy? Is that what you want?
Look.
Does that make sense? Mustafa, what does Mustafa tell his defense attorney? This is what Mustafa says. I want to sit down with the psychiatrist, but before I sit down with the psychiatrist, I want her to take a look at everything that's in this case. I want my audio to come out that there is no argument inside the car. They cut my dash camera. The officer admitted to cutting my dash camera. They're gonna extract my audio before I sit down with the psychiatrist, and I want this extraction on the table. I want my vehicle reconstructed so she can see that this is a car accident. Instead, Mustafa is kept in the dark. They're not telling him when the reconstruction is going to happen. They're not telling him when the audio extraction is going to come out. No, Mustafa, we want you to sit down with the psychiatrist. And you want Mustafa to trust you? How the fuck is he going to trust you when you're bringing him a psychiatrist before you come out with the most crucial piece of evidence? There's a fucking judge order to reconstruct the vehicle. There's a judge order to extract the audio. The government gave you money. Why are you keeping your client in the dark? Are you making a deal with the prosecutor?
Let me add something.
I don't want to think. I don't want to put you in that bracket. I don't want to jump to the conclusion that you're doing that. But I can't explain it to Mustafa.
Let me add something to the psychiatrist. There's specifically a body cam where Casey Stevens and Robert Drum are conspiring together. By the way, Mustafa's former attorney and the investigator who lied are conspiring to bring in a psychiatrist to write Mustafa off. Okay? This is your own defense attorney on body cam. Conspiring with the lying.
I'm going to pull that body cam for you.
Conspiring. So when Mustafa says, this is bringing back memories from a previous situation, and this is why I question it, is because this has happened in the past. Casey Stevens, I remember when he said after Mustafa was beaten up inside the jail, he says, we need to have him medically, psychologically evaluated, right? He says, I need $2,500 for a psychiatrist to go in and evaluate him. And I said, okay, that's fine. We're going to get you a psychiatrist. He said, no. You're not going to pick a psychiatrist. I'm going to pick someone that I know, someone that I'm working with. Well, Good thing we didn't give him the option to choose, because apparently at the time he was conspiring with Robert Drum.
What is the one thing that prosecutor Sarah Sammy wanted and she told Judge Weimer? Your Honor, we need the evaluation.
And that was after Casey Stevens
We
withdrew.
need the psychiatry evaluation.
Casey Stevens withdrew, and she was trying to force a psych evaluation while Mustafa did not have an attorney. And Judge Weimer, I mean, to his credit,
Look,
he said, we're holding off on whatever you want to do.
This is what's happening. And I don't know if Brad Haywood is aware of it or, I mean, this whole podcast is to, it's not to attack Brad Haywood. Obviously, I have a great relationship with Brad Haywood. Mustafa has a great relationship with Brad Haywood. We're so happy that he's on the case. Finally, we have an honest lawyer. And I mean, 2.5 years, we've never had a lawyer that took what we talk about. I mean, what I talk about is based on the body cams. I'm looking at the body cams. I'm looking at documents. When I get on here, I have the file.
This is not an opinion.
Do you see what I'm talking about? I mean, finally, you have a lawyer that's actually being honest about Mustafa's case. The purpose of this podcast is to tell this lawyer they're playing games with Mustafa. In what sense how does it make sense? I mean, this is what prosecutor Sarah Sammy wants. This is what they want. They know the audio is going to come out. They know the extraction. And this extraction, the audio for the dash camera is going to come out. The full dash camera is going to come out. And it's going to exonerate Mustafa. I mean, we have the dash camera without the audio, and it shows there's no argument
inside.
The
whole case is built.
They're literally passing a cigarette.
It's built on this whole dash cam, no audio issue.
Digital forensic admit there's audio. Now there's a judge order and there's money on the table by the government. The audio is going to come out. They know that. The prosecutor, Sarah Sammy, knows that. When you reconstruct the vehicle, there's a judge order to reconstruct the vehicle. Money's on the table to reconstruct. They know the vehicle is going to get reconstructed. It's going to show that Mustafa
did everything. Angle will prove it.
Did everything he can to avoid a car accident. The steering angle is going to prove it.
It's going to prove it.
So they know exonerating evidence is going to come out. What are they doing here? They bring in a psychologist, a psychiatrist.